So I'm just gonna give you a rundown of everything and the demonstratable items in the interpretive performance guide. Now, the running of at least one feature, I'm gonna show you guys all the features because Mr. Sebastian, you're the main person watching this. So I'm gonna first add. I'm gonna do the Rizzler. That's me. Just kidding. That's so dumb. That was so dumb. I'm just gonna do that. Nope. Alright, now I made a contact. Print the contact. There's my contact. I'm gonna delete the contact, which I'm just gonna do first contact made. So the one I made right there is 0. So I'm just gonna delete it. Delete Cody Sun. Yes. Then print it. No longer there. Right. I'm gonna add that back though. So cut this out. Alright. So now I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna change my Cody one. So the first one I made. I'm gonna change the phone number. Now my phone number, I'm gonna change it to 519. And print it. You can see it changed right here, 519 instead of the original. Oh my gosh, the original 316. You know what I'm saying? And then we're gonna search it. So the last number of my phone number, so 519, so 9, and it shows it right here. And now we exit, it says Audience Amigo, and we're done. That's basically my whole program. Now my purpose of my code is to save information of the people that you care about. Say that you're a boss or something, you gotta like find information of your employers. So saving it in a contact list like this, even though it is very tedious and it's also very long, you can save a lot of information of people that you want to know. You want to get to know about. Say you want to call somebody. Hey, got the phone number? Yep, right here. You have a nickname for them? It's right there. So I think that was pretty cool, and I think that this project is pretty helpful in doing that. It's nothing really too creative. I think it's more just to solve a problem of a lack of communication that's among the work field. So using this can be pretty helpful, I believe. Now, applying algorithms, integrating two or more commonly used algorithms. Now, I have many algorithms. First of all, we have the change key, which basically says change contact equals the integer of the contact you want to edit. So the first contact we made had the ID of 0 because of the class that, even though it's supposed to be 0, my bad. But so based on the contact ID, the user input, it makes an input of which one we want to change. If the change of the contact is, an actual valid ID, and the user input does not equal 6, which is not an option here, then it's just gonna pull all this out and it's gonna ask new nickname, new name, new phone number, basically all of that. And that uses a logical operator, which is and also another logical operator used is during here. The elif user input equals 5, then the search variable is equal to the integer of what last digit of the contact you want to search. And if the phone or the new phone, that if you change your contact information of somebody, and if the new phone number that you made for them is the modulo of 10 is equal to the search variable, which is the last digit of the contact, then it'll print it. Another algorithm I used is printing contacts, which is pretty helpful because you get to print it. It tells the computer, hey, for the contact that's in that list, print it out for me real quick. Basically. The remove contact is basically the same thing, but has a parameter, which is name, so that whatever name that the user fills out, it uses it, and it shows using the format thing that are you sure you want to delete that certain person, yes or no? Then if they say yes, then for the contact in the list, it'll delete the contact based on what they wrote. So that's basically an else deletion stopped. The main UI, which is just basically what the user sees. They don't really see all of this in the background, but it's just the main user interface. Get it? UI. So basically, while loop, everything like that. That's basically technically an algorithm too. It tells the computer what to pop out and what to the user to do. And we also have the menu. I should have mentioned that first, but just tell the computer just to print out what actions we can do. And Yep, I use mathematical operators such as module, as I told you. That's a mathematical operator. I also have the less than or equal to thing, and then not equal to. Basically, some things, and plus sometimes like you need to add more things onto something. So I use the plus mathematical operator. And independently, they all have like a different role. Like changing it is definitely different than deleting it, right? However, they all do have one purpose, which is just to help the user change, add, print, and do all the things that they basically need to have a normal contact program. So I think that's pretty neat. So that's basically the algorithm, a line by line of the summary. Basically, for the menu, it shows it up, it calls it in the main while loop, so it keeps repeating. The definition of change, so the function change asks the user which contact they want to edit. User input equals the input of, it prints out basically all the actions they can take, and based on the action, it does all this stuff, which is pretty handy. And the while true is basically while this thing is true, they'll try this little new phone number. What's the new phone number? And then it breaks that thing. If it's an accept, it breaks it, and then if it's not, an integer, then it says it's not right. And then it changes it, and that's basically for change. Print contact, basically it's a for loop, but it's for the contact in the list. It will just print that contact. It'll print all the contacts in that list. Definition of remove contact: you remove the contact based on the integer that the user inputs, and then it says, are you sure you want to delete that? The deleting contacts equals yes. Then for the contact in the list, it'll just delete that certain contact because of the remove contact integer. And then the definition of the main UI, basically user input equals 0, while the user input is not equal to 6, because that's the quit button. Then it'll just keep repeating this. The user input says, what would you like to do? 1, basically adds it. 2, prints it, and calls the print function from up here. And then the user input is equal to 3, it just removes the contact and the name of it. And then, because of this, the parameter, you need to call that parameter also. And yeah, that's basically everything for algorithms, which, not gonna lie, it took me a while to explain, but now we're gonna do it for abstraction. Yay! Now, the class, first of all, basically combines all of these elements, and you can basically put it into a class. A class can be called within your the main code that you need. And then you can just bunch it up into into an object, which is also very helpful, so that you can just call it within the main program. That say I have the class of contact, which basically has all the nicknames, names, birthday, and stuff, the format of it, and also returning each of the things. Now, based on that, in this program, I did contact, the lowercase c, my bad, is equal to contact, nickname, all that stuff. All the elements inside the contact class is into one variable, which is called an object, which an object you can use within your program, so that if you need to get it, if you need to remove it, and all that stuff, then you have it. Functions are basically an abstraction, because first of all, I don't have to go inside the while loop, which is already cluttered, and having it all the program things inside of it, which is pretty difficult. But yeah, basically a lot of the functions help with organization, a lot of that stuff. The change basically does all of the instructions it is inside the loop, but you don't have to actually write it out in the loop. And then the printing contacts, remove contact name, and basically variables, objects, and all the inputs and outputs and everything like that, they're basically abstraction, because it's actually abstracting the things that the user sees from the actual program that we made. So yeah, variables contain a lot of information that can be used whenever you want. List is also definitely abstraction, because you get to get all the information put into that list, and then you can call it whenever you want from that list and that object inside that list, and you can just print it out, change it, delete it, search it, whatever. I know a lot of this might sound like I'm yapping, and that's basically true. So while loop is also definitely abstraction, because instead of having it doing if that and everything, and keep just repeating the same things, it actually just keeps going, keeps looping around until a certain action is met, and then it deletes. Definitely the menu is also a great abstraction because we can just call this and then basically it shows the user, oh yeah, you can do this, you can do all of that. So yeah, that's abstraction. Most of it provides general procedures. And yeah, with parameters, so with the return values, it just returns basically everything that the user inputs. And then for the parameter of here, I already told you the name. It just used here so that whatever they typed in as a name earlier, it can just get that back and then just show you, hey, do you want to delete this? And then the name that they put earlier. Alright, now testing and refining. Now this is probably one of the hardest parts because I can't really just show you guys. Show you. But I used to have definitely code where it wasn't working, and it was definitely not like this. It was used to be all into the while loop, basically cluttered and everything, and basically it barely worked, as I showed you in the document if you want to look at that. But that's basically how I'm going to show you my design changed. But it used to be, I had to the user had to type in each individual action, which is kind of hard. And I believe that this is definitely a step improvement because I used to not be able to tell the user what they had to do. It is basically just I knew what to do, but the user didn't know. So I made sure that I explained everything. Like the first contact made is the ID of 0, and also that you can't really do things. If they type in something that they can't do, they just can't do it. So I think that's very neat, and it just keeps looping, and I think that's how I refined mine. Now the testing part, not gonna lie, while I was doing it, I had many errors, which was very annoying. But after some trial and error, and basically looking at the debugger, because they had a debug in here because it shows you what the error was. It shows you which line and what, if the list is out of the index or basically all that. I had to look through it, try to solve it. It was pretty hard, not gonna lie. And if I had a bug, I would basically just look at it. If I didn't understand it, I low-key did look it up. But sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. But sometimes I would just stop everything I was doing, look at the thing, try to solve it. If I couldn't solve it, ask for help. And then basically after that, it was just barbecue chicken from there. And basically I believe that if you're trying to fix a bug, first of all look at it, try to look through that main part of the thing. If there's other parts that you messed up, look at it again, make sure that it's working, and blah blah blah, all that stuff. And yeah, that's basically it. This is my program. I'll go through another one run through at the end just because this is just to show you it's not a fluke. Okay, to be fair, the only problem I have with my code, and I'm just gonna keep it a bug, is that you can just type in numbers and all of it, which is fine for the user, but not the greatest. And I think there's definitely improvements that can be made here, but for a project, I think this is pretty good. I think that it works. It's pretty good. And yeah, hopefully I get an A on this, not gonna lie. If I don't, please help, please help.
Oh man, you're just ruining it. Look at my lips, you're ruining it.
And also, if I didn't explain class that well, it's because I don't really understand it that greatly. So, class is pretty hard to understand in my opinion. That's the hardest thing that took for me to do, because I had to look back and all that stuff. And that was basically it. That was my contact program, contact list, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't really matter. Took inspiration from many others, and I'm actually pretty proud of it. I think it's pretty good. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed that little ramble. And I'm probably gonna edit this a lot. You're gonna probably see some memes and stuff. Hopefully you like it. If you don't, it doesn't matter.
Now let me be clear.
But yeah, have a great day.